of subpoena ad testificandum if they will not be present in the next hearing, and the excuse that will be sent once again to us is not valid, they might be cited in contempt. And doon na po, sa mga letter nila, citing Section 11, Paragraph A, yun na po, they will be cited in contempt, no? Cited in contempt in violation of Paragraph A. Alam po ni Secto, kasi former congressman, lawyer pa, di ba? Absence without legal excuse in this committee po. Now, ang sinasabi ko lang po, just for the record, Mr. Chairman, malinaw po, we follow due process here. We have done due diligence. We invited them, we issue a show cause order, now we issue a subpoena ad testificandum. Now, in the next hearing, they should be present. Iwasan po sana natin magkaroon ng constitutional impasse po dito. No? Kasi if we wait for the Supreme Court and we will not do our constitutional duty here, there will be a problem. Kaya po, I hope my good friend, the good lawyer, Secretary Bello, will advise his client to be present in the next hearing because we will be forced to impose our constitutional mandate at the same time our internal laws of the House. Section 11 of the internal laws, which is Section 4 contempt po.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will follow your advice, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you,
my dear
boss.
friend.
Thank you.
Set Lauretta Chu, Your Honors. Before coming here, Your Honor, I received a letter signed by Miss Chu addressed to the chairman, the Honorable Congressman Dan Fernandez, explaining her reason for not attending this hearing, Your Honor, because she alleges that she is not a blogger, much less a purveyor of false news or fake news. As a matter of fact, Your Honor, Miss Chu is a legitimate media practitioner and even a column editor of a national daily, which is the Manila Bulletin, Your Honors. On this basis, Your Honor, we offered to appear in her behalf today. Unfortunately or fortunately, we are also compelled, Your Honor, to enter our appearance in collaboration with Attorney G.P. Angeles, who is the counsel of the other alleged bloggers who filed a petition for certiorari and prohibition with a prayer for the issuance of a temporary restraining order, Your Honors. And because of this petition, Your Honor, it was our decision to advise them not to appear, because for them to appear, Your Honor, would be an abandonment of their petition filed before the Supreme Court for certiorari and prohibition, Your Honor. So, in order not to preempt this case, Your Honor, they opted not to appear. And as a matter of fact, Attorney Gonzales, I think, manifested in writing, Your Honor, that they are requesting for a resetting of this hearing so that they can attend later on without waiving their rights on the petition that they filed before the Supreme Court.
Mr. Chair.
Submitted, Your Honors.
Mr. Chair, may I just make an observation? Just
Is that in relation
Yes, exactly.
to the statements of Secretary Bello?
You're right, Mr. Chair.
Please, you have the floor.
Para sa kaalaman ng lahat, napanood ko po yung interview ni Miss Crisette Lauretta Chu sa television, kung saan nga sinasaad na sila ay nag-file ng petisyon sa Supreme Court. Ano po? Pero sa aking pakiwari po ay nakakadismaya na pinangungunahan nila kung ano mangyayari sa komite na ito. Napakasimple lang naman. Wala naman tahasang nagsasabi na sila ay purveyors or fake news. Wala naman nagsasabi na sila ay hindi lehitimong journalist. In fact, kinikilala po natin yan. Kung iniimbitan po siya ng House of Representatives ng komite na ito, ay ito ay sa kadahilanan gusto nating malaman ang kanilang punto de vista sa problema nga ho ng paglaganap ng fake news. Para sa akin, merong elemento ng paranoia pinangungunahan ninyo, sana naman lang binigyan nyo kami ng pagkakataon. Dahil meron din naman dito sa komite at ang aming tanging hangarin, at least I can only speak for myself, and I also believe this is also the intention of my colleagues, is to find out ano ba ang problema na nangyayari nito. Because ang problema ho ng fake news, hindi lang naman ho nakaka-apekto sa administrasyon o sa opposition, nakaka-apekto sa mga negosyo, sa mga private individuals. Nakakalungkot po, Mr. Chair, na sa puntong ito, ang mangyayari niyan, ang magiging dahilan na yung kanilang petisyon sa Supreme Court. Kumbaga, pinagtutuos ang kanilang petisyon laban sa ating kahilingan at imbitasyon na dumalo sila sa ating pagpupulong. Yun lamang po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Chairman.
Chairman Paduano, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Just to reply to the manifestation made by my good friend, our former colleague, Secretary Bello, a lawyer. Alam mo naman po, hindi ako lawyer, no? But of course, with due respect to the manifestation made by Sec Bello, first and foremost po, the hearing that was conducted last February 4 in this committee, mas nauna po with invitation kaysa doon sa Supreme Court. At the same time, malinaw po na yung inquiry in aid of legislation in Congress, no, Senate and House of Representatives, sabi nga ng Supreme Court, is a different proceeding. Now, kaya sabi nga doon sa Chartered Bank versus the Senate, malinaw po. As in sabi doon, you cannot use courts to subvert the constitutional mandate of the House of Representatives and this committee. Kaya po ako, Mr. Chairman, ako po, I still stand with the Supreme anti-stificandum to be issued against those or to all those mentioned names. And one of those is the client of former Congressman and Secretary Bello. Malinaw po, they only filed. Well, in fact, you are not part of the filing of such certiorari in the Supreme Court. Iba pong abogado doon, di ba, Sec?
I agree, Your Honor. I do not know. I don't disagree with your position. As a matter of fact, the filing of that petition before the Supreme Court was done by their counsel on record, Your Honor, Attorney Angeles. And the only reason why we agreed to that for them not to come over is for them not to render moot and academic that petition. So it's up for the Supreme Court to decide whether their petition for certiorari and prohibition has any legal basis, Your Honor.
Chairman, can I reply? Mr. Chairman, okay. With due respect to the position of the good lawyer, my good friend, Mr. Chairman, ganito po kasi. The issue of Supreme anti-stificandum, if they will not be present in the next hearing, and the excuse that will be sent once again to us is not valid, they might be cited in contempt. And doon na po, sa mga letter nila, citing Section 11, Paragraph A, yun na po. They will be cited in contempt, no? Cited in contempt in violation of Paragraph A. Alam po ni Secto, kasi former congressman, lawyer pa. Di ba? Absence without legal excuse in this committee po. Now, ang sinasabi ko lang po, just for the record, Mr. Chairman, malinaw po, we follow due process here. We have done due diligence. We invited them. We issue a show cause order. Now we issue a subpoena ad testificandum. Now, in the next hearing, they should be present. Iwasan po sana natin magkaroon ng constitutional impasse po dito. No? Kasi if we wait for the Supreme Court and we will not do our constitutional duty here, there will be a problem. Kaya po, I hope my good friend, the good lawyer, Secretary Bello, will advise his client to be present in the next hearing because we will be forced to impose our constitutional mandate at the same time our internal laws of the House, Section 11 of the internal laws, which is Section 4 contempt po.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will follow your advice, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all. Thank you, Sec. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you,
My dear
boss.
friend.
Thank you.
Mr.
I'd like to follow up the question of line of questioning, if I may be allowed by the chairs. But you know, I can ask one question lang po kay Secretary.
Sige.
Sir, yes, Sir Kong, would you know what particular, di ba, file po sila ng petition for search warrant before the Supreme Court. Would you know, sir, kung what specific areas where they question the proceeding of this committee, why they do not want to attend? Are they questioning the legality of this proceeding? Are they questioning the mandate of this committee? Because I believe, I just want to know exactly the reason why they are using that argument in order to continue skipping the committee hearings and not honoring the invitation of this TRICOM.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I stated earlier, that petition for certiorari and prohibition was filed by Attorney GP Angeles, ano? GP Angeles, Your Honor, and we had nothing to do with that.
Yes.
It just so happened that our client, Miss Christian Chu, also joined the petition. So, as whether the petition has any legal basis or not, Your Honor, I'm not yet prepared to make any conclusion.
Okay, so thank you very much. Kasi I had this impression, Mr. Chair, that essentially the petition for certiorari is, though they have certain arguments perhaps that they have presented before the Supreme Court, but essentially my take on that is they are questioning the legality of this proceeding, Mr. Chair. So that would be basically the bedrock of the argument that they want to pursue before the Supreme Court. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Your Honor. Secretary, hindi po ba nag-file po sila ng petition sa Korte Suprema? Di po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Unfortunately, hindi pa nag-a-act yung Korte Suprema. Wala po silang action.
That's true, Your Honor. That is true.
And therefore,
but the only reason why they are not appearing now is not to render that petition moot and academic.
I would understand that, Secretary, but that would not stop this committee from performing its constitutional mandate. Would you agree with that also?
I agree, Your Honor.
And therefore, the committees can issue the processes provided under our rules. Tama rin po siguro.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, I would understand na hindi siya appear dito dahil magiging moot and academic yung kanyang yung kanyang petition sa Korte Suprema. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
And Mr. Chair, may I also add, Mr. Chair, anyway, the purpose of this inquiry is to formulate an enabling law in aid of legislation. So we are not actually running after anybody. We're actually soliciting all their input so that we can come up with a law that would really address yung proliferation of malinformation, misinformation in the online community. Yun lang naman talagang pinaka-purpose dito, Mr. Chair, Your Honors.
May mga admin.
Yes, the Honorable Paduano for the other administrative matters.
May naiwan pala, Mr. Chairman, for those all unserved show cause order coming from this committee last February for hearing. Mr. Chairman, may I respectfully move that those unserved show cause order be issued again and coordinate with the Philippine National Police to properly serve such show cause orders. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Any second? There's a motion to reissue show cause orders to those people who have not been properly served with such. Hearing no objection, the motion is carried. Comsec, please take note of that. The Honorable Barbers is now recognized.
Mr. Chair, additional admin matters with the indulgence of Chairman Barbers.
With the indulgence of the Honorable Barbers, please.
Thank you, Chairman Barbers. Thank you, Chair Akop. Mr. Chair, we also have two more matters, I think, that were left by Congressman Paduano in relation to admin matters. This is in relation to the platforms. May we know, Mr. Chair, from the COMSEC for clarification, we have received a letter from White and Case on behalf of Meta, but our invitation was for Facebook Philippines, tama po ba? And in fact, the letter was addressed to Mr. Henrickson David. So, hindi naman po Meta talaga. Just for the information of the body, the committee is in receipt of a letter from counsel from the US stating that Meta cannot be invited. Facebook Philippines is not authorized to receive the invitation. However, I think this is like the case of Google. Although Google and Alphabet is international, Google Philippines chose to appear. So I think, Mr. Chair, this would not stand po as a reason for Facebook Philippines not to attend. So given that they have failed to substantiate the reason for their absence, may I move, Mr. Chair, that a show cause order be issued for Facebook Philippines.
Second.
Could you please enumerate shall we say, platforms that would be issued a show cause order?
Altogether na lang po,
Yes.
Mr. Chair, Omnibus. On the second matter, Mr. Chair, this is in relation to ByteDance, the owner of TikTok. They've sent a letter to the committee stating that they could not appear due to an engagement in Singapore. Unfortunately, the engagement was not substantiated, and based on precedents in this committee, we generally would require proof of the reason of their absence. So, likewise, in the same manner, then I would like to amend my motion, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move that the show cause order be issued to ByteDance Philippines, or the invitee here po, no, sa email to, and to Facebook Philippines, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion is carried. ComSec, please take note that we issue a show cause order to the mentioned platform.
Mr. Chair, sorry, one more amendment in line with the rules of the committee, as the ComSec has just informed me now, to include po in the motion the specific person. So for ByteDance Philippines, that is Ms. Pichi Paderna, and for Meta Platforms, or in the case of Facebook Philippines, this is Mr. Henrickson David. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
As amended, do I hear any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion is carried. ComSec, please take note that we invite the persons as mentioned by the Honorable Gutierrez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Chairman, for admin pa rin po to. Sorry po. Mr. Chairman, may, since attorney, former secretary, former Congressman Bello has already entered his appearance as counsel of those resource person, he's requesting us if he can now leave because he has still work outside.
Is there any objection from the members that we excuse Secretary Bello? Oh, hearing none? Okay.
Thank you, Chairman.
Honorable Barbers, you are now recognized.
I would like to yield my time to Congresswoman Roman, because she promised me that it will just be very short.
The Honorable Roman is recognized.
Anyway, Mr. Chair, nais ko lang isaad at bigyang diin ang naturalesa ng komisyon na to, no? Which is basically investigation in aid of legislation. And I think meron tayong konting problema sa pagpaparating dito ng ating mga imbitado dahil nga pinangungunahan nila ang ating pakay, no? Akala nila ay lilitisin sila dito, hindi naman po ito korte, hindi naman ito hukuman, bagamat ito ay simple lamang na pagpapalit ng kuro-kuro. Kalinya na rin po ng naturalesa ng committee na ito na maghanap ng mga polisiya at mga patakaran upang i-regulate ang social media upang iwasan ang paglaganap ng fake news. Nais ko sanang ihatag sa komite na ito ang naging bunga ng aking pakikipagpanayam sa mga journalists, sa mga content creators, sa mga eksperto na masasabi. Kung papahintulutan po ako ng ating mabuting chairman, ay gusto ko sanang ilatag ang aking suggestion para maiwasan ang problema natin na tila nagbubunga doon sa kakulangan ng regulations, ng policies, ng mga internal regulations na sinasabi, no? At pagkakaisa sa loob ng sektor. Ang ComSec, sana makadistribute kayo ng tinatawag kong pagtatatag ng Digital Council of the Philippines. So I made a policy briefer. So the proliferation of fake news, disinformation, and malinformation on social media platform poses a significant threat to public trust, democratic discourse, and national security. Alam na po natin yan. Despite existing laws, current mechanisms are fragmented and insufficient in addressing digital misinformation. At palagay ko, we're all in agreement sa puntong yon.